Welcome, fair people of YouTube. Today, I'm bringing you first deck list of this expansion, which is, of course, Wonderland Dreams, right? How could we have forgotten? So, the expansion is out for exactly 2 weeks right now, and I think that's the perfect time to say that the meta is pretty much stabilized, that we won't be having any, big shifts in the meta, and that blood and neutral decks will still dominate. So yeah, I actually don't want to cover the most mainstream deck, because I'm pretty sure you are all familiar with Abyss Blood and you are all familiar with neutral package aggro. So I will discuss something that's it's not quite a deck. I mean, it is a deck, you can see it here, but it's basically the idea of countering the meta. And I think that Runecraft does it really well. And I'm not talking about burn Runecraft here, I'm talking about neutral control. That's another aspect I've been working on for a very long time. I mean, exactly like 1 week or more, but it's a lot in Shadowverse, right? It's a concept of playing control with Alice package. So you don't really focus on getting your 1, 2, 3, 4 curve with Alice, but rather than that, you use Alice to buff up your Sahakiel and other late game cards to allow for some sick combos or just, improve your comeback potential. Of course, I cannot say that this is, you can just make a deck and build in the control Alice package and it will be as great as aggro Alice. It won't. It's definitely not the main feature of the deck. If you want to build deck with Alice neutral control package, you have to be aware of what deck you are playing and what are its strong points in control metagame. So yeah, let's head on to my decks. And here we have, it's called neutral D-shift because of the win condition, but it's, to be honest, just neutral control. Alright, so first of all, I want to talk about our win condition, as it's the most important thing in every single deck. You cannot win without win condition. Our win condition is Queen of the Dread Sea. This card is really underused. I've seen this in basically some theory craft, but I haven't experienced a Queen of the Dread Sea on ladder yet. The only time I saw her is when I used her, right? I have built 2 decks with her, mostly because she's the first animated I opened in this expansion, so yeah, I wanted to utilize her a bit. Out of the blue, I opened 11 copies of Queen of the Dread Sea in 200 packs, so yeah, she was half of my legendaries I opened. Anyway, she changes the cost of a neutral card other than herself and a non-neutral card in your hand to 0, then discards everything else. So basically she says you can play 1 neutral and 1 class card, and that's it. You discard your entire hand after that. So she's obviously a great card for combo purposes, and you don't want to really chip down your cards and then discard your hand and, count that your 0 mana Bahamut will be a sick board clear several turns later. That doesn't really work out. You usually have to kill on the turn you play the Dread Sea Queen. So the first thing that people thought she will be played with is Zeus and Genesis Dragon for 14 damage burst, but I found something much better, which is actually more than 14 damage burst. That is Queen of the Dread Sea plus Dimension Shift and Israfil. With this combination you get 17 damage if you just play those cards, 19 damage if you evolve, and if you had Alice buffs, you can go up to, well, 25 damage, but of course that doesn't really matter much, right? With this combo also, anything that's stuck on your board from the last turn will help you with the OTK. So the general idea is to cycle into the Queen of the Dread Sea and Dimension Shift and Israfil. We have plenty of means to cycle and plenty of means to survive till turn 10, because that's the biggest problem, right? You have to survive till 10. But to be honest, in this metagame, if you survive after turn 6, you probably are good to go until turn 10. There are not really a lot of decks that can finish you in the mid game, aside from maybe Neutral Sword. They take advantage of many decks in neutral game. or just mid-range sword, but let's talk about neutral right now. Anyway, about the deck, let's see our cycle package. I play Insight as my only 1-drop, Bellringer Angel and Freshman Lu, 2 copies of Freshman Lu just to cycle the D-Shift into your hand. D-Shift is our only spell boost card, so Lu is guaranteed to give us D-Shift. I'm playing 2 Lus and 1 D-Shift because I don't need other D-Shifts, and I would rather have a 2 mana 1/1 in my hand that does nothing than 18 mana spells that I cannot even cast. So yeah, that's the power of fetch cards. Other than that, we play Witch of Sweets, which is just a, you know, great body, 2 mana 2/2, with a draw effect. The effect is really easy to fulfill, the condition, I mean, of the effect. Because we play a lot of neutrals, like, and our entire late game is neutral, and late game is something you keep in your hand, right? If you, for example, have Lyrial or Bellringer Angel, you will sometimes play it before Witch of the Sweets, even Grimnir. And that, you know, reduces your number of neutral cards in hand. So if you look at the condition that says you have to have some neutral cards in your hand, like Hector or Witch of the Sweets, you probably want to look at the late game, or at least later game. Because, as I said, most of the early game neutral cards will already be played by you. Then we have Kaleido Glow, which is, in my opinion, the best tool to counter the meta. I literally cannot imagine a control deck without Kaleidoscopic Glow. That's why I'm not a big fan of Aegis right now. Even though Aegis works, of course, but I just think that Kaleido is what they are missing. Like, it removes buffs, it stops tempo very well, and it cycles. So I don't think it's really comparable to any other removal right now when it comes to all the neutral decks. I think it's the single best card right now. Then we have Grimnir, who is terrible because, well, it's just killed by Tove, and Tove kind of ruins everything. So yeah, from other neutrals we play Lyrial, we play Alice, of course, and everything else is late game. I used to have double Lucifer in the deck, but I had to cut something for third Winter Caprice, and Lucifer doesn't really provide that much utility. From other cards we have Goblin Breaker Tina as a just, you know, good removal, good in stopping the Alice Snowball when you are going second. And then we have Summon Iceform, 3 copies just to stall a turn, because this is the goal of the deck. You have to stall till turn 10, and on 10 you win every single time. So, you know, plenty of stall tools. And yeah, that would be the deck. I mean, I also didn't mention the Winter Caprice, which is here solely to you know, deface the Abyss Blood and punish them for not evolving and attacking at the same time. Some tips and tricks with the deck. I would say that when you are versus Abyss and you know that your opponent has Abyss, for some reason they played Baphomet and you haven't seen them play the cat, the Phantom Cat, even though they had the opportunity to, you probably have to assume that they have Abyss, and well, if it's possible, you have to keep your board clear and empty against Abyss, so they cannot dish out this 8 damage immediately, and you can just Winter Caprice them. Although people got smarter when it comes to playing Abyss, and they don't that often get caught by Winter Caprice anymore. And yeah, that will be it for the deck, so I will cut here and see you again on a playtest. Okay guys, we found ourselves a game, and it's versus meta deck, probably. So the biggest downside of this expansion is that going first means everything. Going first gives you about 80% win rate already with most of the decks. Because if you are not playing meta deck that needs to go first, like Abyss or neutral aggro just, then probably your opponent is playing this kind of deck and you don't want them to go first. Yeah, so in this kind of scenario we will keep Insight as a 1-drop, we won't keep Lu because we won't have time to play her, and of course we don't keep our win condition. We found Kaleidoscopic Glow, that's really important. Usually to beat Blood you need at least 2 Kaleidoscopic Glows early in the game. Hopefully he misses Goblin. Ambling Raid, alright, so this is a different kind of deck. Probably some Carabo's Vengeance. Bellringer is pretty good, especially with Alice. But Goblin Breaker Tina is more important. Yeah, it's some kind of aggro deck.
Unbelievable.
So it's not quite meta deck, but we can still show how the deck plays, right? We have to stall till turn 3, so if I had till turn 4, so we can Evo and clear. If I had the Summon Ice form, I would definitely play it here. But we don't have it, so we'll just play Bellringer. His Clash will activate, but I don't really care.
It's me, Venya.
Hopefully no double Venya.
Go Bloodkin. Oh.
Witch of Sweets is always a good addition. Alright, let's go for Tina.
Inferno, Tina. You're done for. If my brother can't burn. Me? Really?
Also, a disclaimer, guys, this deck is not finished. I actually am still testing it. I thought that maybe Alice is not quite fitting, but then I found her really helpful when it comes to finishing your opponent off. And if you want to change something in the deck, definitely do, and also share your ideas in comments so I can maybe get some ideas from you. What should I change in the deck? But the deck is pretty much built to counter the blood and neutral aggro, so I would not expect to win versus other matchups. I mean, of course, you will win sometimes, it's not like it's hopeless, but it's definitely not what this deck is designed for.
These are my best work.
That's actually a really good card.
It won't be long now. My wings are killing all part of the job. Burn!
From this kind of blood we can expect something like Implancer or Razor Claw. So we'll probably soon be dead. We need to find our heals, our Israfil and Lucifer. We have Sahakel, so Lucifer would be perfect. Our opponent is thinking hard. And all of the word trades.
Lucius, I'm sorry.
Shed tears of joy, I've arrived.
Will we see White into Witch of Sweets? That's a good way to produce some bats. Not trading for a 4-1, not evolving. And we found Lucifer, that's actually great. We'll cycle a bit more. Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll play Lu right now. Because I already have Queen and Lucifer, this is enough to win. So I should probably start looking for my D-Shift. But then again, I have a lot of time to find D-Shift. I have 3 more turns after this one. So maybe not really. We'll just cycle for something like Kaleidoscopic Glow. Let's just think about our turn ahead. We'll probably trade here, right? Then we probably trade here. We have to Evo here, that's no doubt. Let's play Lirial. And Witch of Sweets. Oh, that's a wrong order. You always want to play Witch of Sweets before you drop your neutrals. But in this case it didn't really matter. We'll just clear the board. For the next turns we'll recover 8 HP. And after that we'll try to look for Israfil and D-Shift. I'm pretty sure Lu will be dropped on turn 9. Maybe sooner if you have spare mana, but our 7 and 8 is probably Sahakel and then Lucifer. He kept his Evo, that keeps me wondering if maybe he's playing Abyss.
This ache,
Sure.
this thirst, quench
Face.
them.
And he doesn't Evo, he definitely has Abyss. This is a pure clean sight of Abyss. And we have to outplay him on this Abyss. I guess we'll just heal. Yeah, we can just heal.
All part of the job. Someday.
There was nothing to be afraid of.
Fighting is so cruel.
May all light onto you the light.
Glory!
Yeah, now we are out of range of Abyss. Next turn we probably will just play Lucifer, but we don't kill Abyss on board. That is what I'm afraid of.
I seem to have
Okay, he concedes. I guess he is out of damage. So, this game actually didn't show much, but I'm sorry guys, I don't have time to record anymore. Because I actually have a really busy schedule with everything I do in life. So, this game will have to do, guys. Anyway, how the game would probably go was, if he played Abyss here and trade into Ding Dong, I would go down to 4 HP. I would have to answer to the Abyss with my Winter Caprice, and then I would probably play Lu to cycle for the D-Shift. On the following turn, if I wasn't dead, I would probably try to heal up with something like Lucifer or Israfil if I drew her, and then on 10 we would drop Queen with D-Shift and whatever we had left. So yeah, that's the breakdown of the game. But I'm pretty sure he was not playing Abyss, because if he had Abyss here, he would definitely play it. Like, he was in the pretty good position. Anyway guys, if you want any tips on the deck or to see it in action again, you can check out my stream. I will link it down in the description. And I will also leave my Twitter, as I announce a lot of things there. Other than that, I guess it's all good. I guess we are done here, guys. Peace.